So welcome to another edition of Business Africa Live on a Monday morning here in Accra. It's a cloudy morning as it's been for the past 2 weeks, and I hope you do enjoy with us this morning. Another day of business, and although we are a little bit saddened by what we heard yesterday at Ada, but then we do hope that we do find our superstar who is feared dead. But then we are hoping that probably we could find him alive, safe somewhere. But then all what we can do now is to hope for the best. So you're welcome to another edition of Business Africa Live, and my name is Yao Edu Granting. As usual, what we do is we'll give you the stock market analysis, the currency market, and other markets to see how our commodities are working, the prices are moving, and also how the Ghana City fared at the end of trading on Friday. We'll also take a look at the industry in terms of insurance industry in Ghana. Well, we'll have a practitioner coming to the studio to talk to us about the industry, the insurance industry in Ghana. We'll take a look at where to invest as usual. We'll also have your business quotes for the day, and then hopefully we could see a Titan coming to the studio. But then if not, then we'll sign out at probably in an hour 30 minutes time. So stay tuned to BTA because we have the best in terms of business, and stay tuned with us. We'll be right back after this.
International news, Parliament, Cinemax African movies, Sports 24, Emmanuel TV, GTV, CNN, Al Jazeera, Planet Kids for Kids, and many other channels.
Fast Digital, the Ghanaian in you.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth, and the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management, investment advice worth its weight in gold. The African Business Talk analyzes Africa's business development and how policies and initiatives affect the lives of the African. The talk aims at opening opportunities for industry as well as sound trade cultural practices between business owners and entrepreneurs in continental Africa and in the diaspora. Don't miss it as we engage think tanks, businessmen and women, entrepreneurs, chief executives, innovators, and people who have worked to transform countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, Benin, Togo, South Africa, Botswana, Egypt, and many other African economies. The African Business Talk, live on Business Television Africa.
From the break, and as you say, Business Africa Live here on BTA. BTA gives you the business the way you want it. We'll jump straight into how the financial markets performed at the end of trading on Friday, and take a look at how the Ghana Stock Exchange performed at the end of trading on Friday, where a total of 813,960 shares traded at a consideration of 3.256 million Ghana cedis. Gainers on the day, there were 7 gainers recorded at the end of trading on Friday, with Ghana Commercial Bank leading the pack with a 26 peso appreciation, moving to its highest value since the beginning of the year at 5 cedis 84 pesos a share, and 569 pesos a share, I beg your pardon, with the likes of Mechanical Lloyd, Goyle, Benzo Oil Palm, operated SIC and Total Petroleum also in the mix of gainers. Bob also gaining by 7 pesos to close at 2 cedi 66 pesos, although we see some price appreciations in Bob. But then in terms of year-to-date performance, Bob has recorded much of a decline, about close to 17% year-to-date loss. For those who had holdings in Bob at the beginning of the year, would have made some declines as we speak at the end of trading on Friday. For decliners, we saw the likes of EcoBank Ghana and HFC recording price declines at the end of trading on Friday, with EcoBank Ghana losing 2 pesos while HFC going down by 10 pesos. And I must say that it's making the whole takeover bid for HFC quite interesting, looking at how the prices keep on falling nowadays. And then the bid price that was set at 1 cedi 60 pesos by the bank from Trinidad and Tobago, we're talking about Republic Bank, a bid of 1 cedi 60 pesos, and now the price going down to 1 cedi 35 pesos a share. It's making this whole saga quite more interesting by the day. In terms of top traders for the day, Ghana Commercial Bank recorded the highest in terms of volume by 524,700 shares and a consideration of 2.98 million Ghana cedis at the end of trading on Friday. So this is how the Ghana cedi performed at the end of the day on Friday. We'll take a look at the stock markets across Africa, and now we'll take a look at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, where a total volume trade in the market was quite insignificant actually. But then the index was up by 141.59 points, representing a change of 0.27%, a positive change of 0.27%, and a year-to-date of 14.32% at the end of trading on Friday. The index closed at 52,060.03 points at the end of trading on Friday. Gainers on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange included the likes of Stenoff International Holdings up by 3.43%, Brait SE by 2.90%, Times Media Group by 2.59%, African Oxygen Limited by 2.50%, and Aspen Pharmacare Holdings by 2.05% at the end of trading on Friday. Now we take a look at the Nigerian stock market, where the aggregate stock index on the Nigerian stock market was up by 344.95 points, representing a daily percentage change of 0.81% and a year-to-date of 7.64% at the end of trading on Friday. A total of 282.46 million shares traded at a consideration of $2.09 million US. In terms of total market capitalization in the Nigerian stock market, the market recorded 86.675 billion US dollars at the end of trading on Friday, of course. Gainers on the Nigerian stock market included Danksem up by 2.25%, National Bank by 0.87%, Oando up by 3.71%, Ashaka Sem by 3.02%, and EcoBank Transnational by 4.97% at the end of trading on Friday. We take a look at the Moroccan stock market, where the MASI actually is the benchmark for the performance of the Moroccan stock market. It was down by 3.16%, representing a percentage change of 0.14% and a year-to-date of 4.58%, a positive year-to-date of 4.58%, and the index closing at 9,205.12 points. Gainers on the Bulls, the Valet, the Casablanca, we saw Delta Holdings up by 5.04%, Lafarge by 3.35%, Managem by 2.80%, and NAC by 2.12%, and Sonasid by 1.80%, closing at 1,020 dirhams a share. Now let's take a look at the Tunisian stock market, where the Tun index, which is also the benchmark for the Tunisian stock market, was up by 26 points, representing a change of 0.30% and a year-to-date of 5.84%. The index was at 4,600 and 0.13 points at the end of trading on Friday. Gainers on the BVMT included AST by 2.99%, SFBT by 2.26%, Simba by 1.96%, TAIR by 1.81%, and CT by 1.74% at the end of trading on Friday. Now let's do some commodities and see how the major commodities, the traditional exports of Ghana, did perform at the end of trading on Friday. Crude was down marginally by 0.07% to close at $110.62 a barrel. Gold was at $1,320.40 an ounce. Cocoa was at $3,106 a metric ton, up by 0.03%. Coffee was down by 0.12% to close at $171.80 a pound, while sugar closed at $17.81 a pound, up by 0.28% compared to its previous day's closing price. Now let's take a look at the Ghana Cedi and how it performed at the end of trading on Friday. The Ghana Cedi recorded some composite appreciation. Actually, it did recover its previous day's lost value to the US dollar and to the other major trading currencies. The Ghana Cedi traded at 3 cedis and 1 peso to the US dollars. And I must say, this rate is the interbank average rate released by the Association of Bankers, and that was at 3 cedis and 1 peso to the US dollars. Currently on the forex market, you might get a dollar for 3 cedis and 20 pesos on the forex market. Looking at the pound sterling, the Ghana Cedi traded at 5 cedis and 16 pesos to the pound sterling, while the euro closed at 4 cedis 10 pesos, while the CFA was at 160.13 CFA to 1 Ghana Cedi. So viewers, this is how the various markets performed at the end of trading on Friday. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the insurance industry here in Ghana with a renowned industry practitioner. So stay tuned in, because BTA still has the best in business, and we give you the business the way you want it. Stay tuned in.
have local and international news, Parliament, Cinemax African movies, Sports 24, Emmanuel TV, GTV, CNN, Al Jazeera, Planet Kids for Kids, and many other channels.
Fast digital, the Ghanaian in you.
The African Business Talk analyzes Africa's business development and how policies and initiatives affect the lives of the African. The talk aims at opening opportunities for industry as well as sound trade cultural practices between business owners and entrepreneurs in continental Africa and in the diaspora. Don't miss it as we engage think tanks, businessmen and women, entrepreneurs, chief executives, innovators, and people who have worked to transform countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, Benin, Togo, South Africa, Botswana, Egypt, and many other African economies. The African Business Talk, live on Business Television Africa. Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth. And the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
The sun is up, the spirit is high, people everywhere. The food is good, the wine is fine, people getting high. Mama here, Papa there, the whole gang too. Everybody's dancing, celebrating all night long.
But I really fun. Always that's maybe
Folks are jumping, screaming, and shouting, party everywhere. Call on friends, let's join hands and make the sunshine bright. Why don't you come right in and have a good time too? Everybody's dancing, celebrating all night long.
Using traditional cases might be pedagogically helpful, but they are often easily forgotten. The business class is to enrich case-based learning for business ethics instruction, discuss sample cases that feature popular work environment, and allow students to learn how to use sample case studies. The business class aim is to engage and motivate students in the classroom. The business class is a unique TV show that presents a more corporate experience. Within the show and illustrate the violations of norms commonly taken for granted in a work setting and taught in typical business classes. The business class serves as a valuable tool to teach management topics that are often difficult for students to grasp. Watch the business class live show with an audience to help create bond between student lecturers and corporate Ghana. The business class makes every situation real for students.
Africa is becoming more populous and richer. It has experienced unprecedented and uninterrupted economic growth for the past 3 decades. But if African countries are to become economically successful, their governments will have to implement adequate policies which contribute to the expansion of the private sector, job creation, and an increase in the productivity levels. Corruption must be dealt with in Africa. Unemployment, mainly among the youth, is another challenge facing African leaders. These and many more issues that hinders our growth will be discussed on the banner and provide the why, how, and what to accelerate the continent's dream of economic freedom. Watch on the banner every Saturday. It's going to be hot, heated, but focused. Africa's future success will depend on stability, sound policies, and solid institutions. Don't miss this.
The tourism industry in Ghana is reported to be the 4th highest foreign exchange earner on our GDP list. We will find out what the impact, the identification, development, and promotion of tourist sites in the local vicinities where they are located. We also want to talk to the various chiefs and opinion leaders in these communities to assess whether tourism is making a positive or negative impact on the lives of the local people. This is Tourism TV, fact-finding program that seeks to investigate the existing and potential tourist sites. Join me, Ralph Aite, this and every Friday on this wonderful expedition to find out what tourism is all about in Ghana.
Hello viewers and welcome from the break. I hope you did enjoy your coffee or tea or what kind of break you had. We also had, we'll be having ours shortly, I must say. As I said, we'll be having a discussion on the insurance industry in Ghana, and I have with me Mr. Edgar Redu, who is an industry practitioner in the insurance industry in Ghana. We'll be looking at, and in general, how the industry or insurance industry has been in Ghana, the general overview, the challenges, and then what it has to offer for you as a person in terms of any insurance cover that you would want to have. So, Mr. Edgar Redu, you're welcome to the studios of BTA.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you had a wonderful weekend.
Let's put it that way.
Okay. We'll dive into the questions, and generally, if you could give us a general outlook or a general overview of the insurance industry in Ghana?
Well, I must say that the general outlook is not one that it's so encouraging, because it appears either people do not see the need for it, or the industry itself has not positioned itself in such a manner that will make the ordinary man want to, be part of the industry. So the general overview is not too good in terms of, if you want to look at the other lines of business, segments in the system.
Okay, so if you take a look at, for example, as you said, the general overview that you gave, looking at the low patronage in the industry, what could you say could be the reason behind it?
Well, basically, people depend on what we normally say the disposable income. All right. disposable income is such that having taken care of the basics, the necessities and what have you, then you find the need to put in the necessary securities. And a country where income levels, even though people are talking about single spine being that, yes, salary levels may have gone up, the economic situation doesn't make it so, you know, should I say, juicy for people to find the need to do some of these things, because even though you were trying to, the insurance concept is always trying to make sure that you are guarded against the future, they don't see it that way because they are thinking of the immediate. And to that extent, that is why I say that the penetration has not been too good. And I believe if people could come up with some measures or some mechanism that is from the industry itself, we may find people getting into it.
Okay. As I said, I have with me Mr. Edgar Redu, who is an industry practitioner in the insurance industry in Ghana. We're taking a look at the general review of the insurance industry in Ghana, and as he said, the industry it's not giving good signs in terms of the performance and the penetration in the market, probably because of the levels of real disposable income. I say probably the nominal income could have been higher, but then in terms of the value of the income that you and I may have, it's quite low. So it doesn't even give people much of the the room to actually guard against the future. But then it's because everything is consumed as and when we have them. So let's come back to the insurance industry itself, comparatively to other countries. Looking at your pedigree as a seasoned insurance person, do you think the Ghanaian the Ghanaian insurance industry has what it takes to compete out there?
Well, you see, one of the things we have here is when you talk about insurance, normally people would always want to look at motor insurance, and motor insurance, so because that one is by legislation. And legislation meaning that each and everyone who rides a vehicle or puts a vehicle on the road must have it insured, right? So normally when you talk about insurance, that is where people's attention goes to. When it comes to the other lines of business which are broad, you get it, very, very broad, that is where the difficulty is. And you realize that apart from corporate bodies that would find a need to purchase some of these policies or products, the individuals themselves don't know. And I think there are clear cases of things when they happen by the day. You realize recently, or not really recently, I mean it has happened almost every year, when the floods do come in, then you realize that about 90% of the affected people did not have insurance, right? And next thing you realize the same thing where we were having fire outbreaks in the various markets for some time, and you realize that virtually none of them did have insurance. You're right. So the individual's points of being part of the system is the difficulty. When it comes to the corporate or organization bodies and what have you, they probably will pick up one or two policies. So the difference is when you get outside, right? Due to the level of appreciation of should I say the risk available, and more so because of the way their systems are structured, all right, they find it easy, okay, to be part of the system. Okay, in the developed countries, for instance, they have different schemes, and the schemes are such that you could pay your premiums maybe monthly or what have you. If you want to take this, you want to take that, In our situation, it is not so. Even taking into the fact that I think was it in 1st April when the Commission brought out this policy of no premium, no cover, that to a large extent makes it such that it is, as I said, apart from maybe those using their vehicles, the other lines of businesses, if you do a real good statistics, you see that they're really suffering from there. So it is more to do with market penetration, the strategies you got to use to get to the market. That is when it becomes, should I say, easy or comfortable for people to also patronize. But if your strategies are too harsh, right, And because I always ask myself a question that walk around Accra, and then you ask yourself some questions. Well, some properties that have been there well over 100 years. Let's say properties within the Tudu, Rollins Park area and all that, some other places. These properties have been there for over 100 years. You need to let the occupant or the owner of the property know that this property can be gunned down by fire. Okay? So you need to ensure. But the man tells you that over 100 years this property has been standing there. So what are you talking about? In such a situation, what do? That is where you have to develop strategies that will make the person feel the need of being part of that pool. And if you come in with harsh policies, like no premium, no cover, how will you get a person to be part of you? You wouldn't. But if your policy is designed, or your strategy is designed that, okay, maybe you have to give me 500 Ghana cedi for the insuring your property, but maybe every month I'll take 10 cedis from you. It makes it easier for him to part with that 10 cedis than he carrying the whole 500 cedis and giving to you at a go, knowing that other things are there for him to also take care of. In the first place, I asked, what is the level of the disposable income? So it's all a matter of trying to strategize and position yourself to win, and then you can get people inside the pool. After all, insurance is a pool. The more that contribute takes care of the few that suffer. So if you are not able to get more into it, how then do you take care of the few that suffer?
Well, a lot have been said there. I mean, it's I nearly got lost in the conversation. I mean, it's a broad topic in terms of talking about insurance industry. He just spoke about the products that we have or we use in the industry. Also spoke about regulation, which we'll be touching on very soon. We also talked about the various strategies that have been employed, and even in terms of products that these insurance companies come out with. So even before we talk about regulation, let's take an attention to the products that are on the market. Look at the products that we are offering. Most of these insurance companies are offering, I believe, Afterlife and Moto.
Oh, well, the lot, but in my point of view, I've always maintained that the best policy that one should ever have is the personal accident policy. It is our day-to-day movements that makes our lives move on. Now, if you caught somewhere as a result of a misfortune, an accident or something, and when you talk about accidents, we don't know, we don't restrict ourselves to what the general public will look like and say motor accident, right? I mean, sitting in this room, I can even get injured. The ceiling can fall on me, right? As I walk along the road, I can just twist my, ankle, and then that's the end of the matter. So many things can happen to him. But the question is this, that if I'm disabled or incapacitated, how do I make a living? Because I'm not able to move. But with the personal accident policy, I'm guaranteed some regular income that will take care of me even though I'm not working. And depending on the levels that one offers, you could even put them into some investments that somebody will say every month it will also bring in something for you. But you also said there's a difficulty, and I don't know whether the education, is a problem, or once again I'll say the strategies to get people to be part of it, that is the problem. And I would actually go for the latter, right, being the strategies. You understand? Getting people to be part of a scheme, I don't see the difficulty. We were operating a certain system earlier, right? For some funny or strange reasons, we could not enforce that system. And I believe if we had maintained that position, we would have gone a different level than we are today. Seeing social destitute is not the best. And I think you're talking about legislation. Maybe when you get to that area, we'll look at it. Somebody, as a result of an unfortunate event, it's just there. I don't know how you feel when you walk along the roadside or as you're driving and you see lame people, you know, standing there and then stretching their hands for some arms, and some may be born with it, but some too, some unfortunate events, you know, that happen. How do they make a life? So we have quite a lot of these things, apart from the property insurances, which are normally to do with property physical structures that you can see. The life element goes, the life element is more to do with investments for the future, but our one-on-one, you know, things, you know, there's a, I think we're not doing too good in that area. We're not doing too good.
Well, as I said, I think there's more room for improvement, and there's so much, you know, that these insurance companies could do to help their policy holders, or their potential policy holders, I might say. We'll move now into regulation, and the NIC, which is the National Insurance Commission. That's the what do you call it? The regulation of the insurance industry in Ghana, and I must say, or let me ask this question: how has regulation been in terms of the insurance industry?
Well, as rightly said, the National Insurance Commission is the regulator, and then he has that two lines of, you know, business, making sure that the industry is always working to satisfaction, and most importantly, seeing to it that policyholders get value for money. I think throughout the years, it hasn't really lived up to, you know, expectation, in that, you know, let's look at the motor industry, for instance. In the premium build-up, there are certain components in the premium build-up there. One of those main components is what we call the emergency medical treatment. Now, this emergency medical treatment, it's supposed to be monies that should take care or cater for accident victims at the point when they are called on. So, for instance, the moment there's an accident and then the people are driven to the hospitals, these monies are supposed to take care of these people without liability, establishing liability whatsoever, and not a question of someone asking you, you need to go buy this, you need to come and put this money down before we attend to the patient. I don't see what went wrong. I can't explain why till date, excuse me, that particular thing has never been implemented. And you know, the policyholders suffer all these problems because you caused the accident, so you carry the victim to the hospital. Now you are asked to make payments for the victim to be attended to. The payments that you make is almost not refunded. But meanwhile, in the premium that you paid, an amount was taken to take care of that. For all these years, the commission is not working towards that. I honestly have a difficulty.
I'm beginning to see that as well.
Yeah, you know, and you ask yourself, so what is the point in charging the people for the money? Between the one was expecting that between the National Insurance Commission, the Ghana Health Service, and then probably even the Ministry of Health, they should have come out with some kind of structure to ensure that when these things happen, problems do not come up. But to date, no structure has been put up, and on yearly basis, you are collecting the premiums from the policyholder. How fair are you being to the policyholder? So these are some of the, you know, few problems that I believe the commission needs to set up. You know, they need to set up and then, you know, do something about it. More so, the same motor industry, the essence of the insurance is to protect the innocent person, that is the third party. The innocent man standing by wherever and then being knocked down by a car, or somebody riding quietly on the road and someone hits the car and then the person gets injured. That is the whole essence of the Motor Vehicle Third Party Insurance Act, is to make sure that that person is, you know, protected. And sadly enough, the practice of the industry is such that that innocent person rather suffers, you know, that person rather suffers because you are there and then you'll be hit by a car. The next thing, go, come, do this, do that, do that, do that. I mean, so frustrating. And you ask yourself, what was the whole essence of the act being in place? And these are some of the problems that I believe that if the commission were doing this work well, maybe the confidence of the public would have even gone higher, right? And know that, well, should there be any unfortunate events based on these structures that are in place, one will be compensated heavily.
Well, if you look at the objective of the NIC, which is to promote, to establish an efficient, fair, safe, and stable insurance market, which promotes healthy competition and growth in the interest of policyholders for the benefit.
No, you said what? Interest?
Which promotes healthy competition and growth in the interest of the policyholders.
Interest of the policyholders. That is what I was talking about.
Okay.
The interest of the policyholder. The policyholder has paid a premium. So what is his interest there? That is what I say, value for money. So if he has paid a premium, and then you, the insurer, having received the premium, is that I am now going to accept and take care of the liabilities that you will bring up. So why should you go through that frustration when the time of call comes?
Liabilities when it comes up.
That is it. So just as you rightly said, that is the objective of the commission.
And has the commission been able to live up to that objective?
That is the point I've been explaining all this while. That why would you collect premiums from policyholders that in the event of the mishap, this amount of money is supposed to take care of the emergency medical bills?
So whatever the level of competition in the insurance industry, how has it been?
Well, I should say the competition in the industry does not really exist. You know, it's rather one of a rough market. I wouldn't call it competition. You know, where because of business, someone wants to grow, they begin to do all manner of unethical, you know, things. You don't call that competition. You know, a risk is, you know, put there. When you assess the risk, you realize that no, having all the players, you know, together with their knowledge and expertise, and then all that, you probably need to pay a premium of 1,000 Ghana cedis for this particular risk. Then someone says, for the same risk, I'll give it to you for 300 Ghana. Serious business, because one of the funny things is beyond the insurer is the reinsurer, okay, and beyond the reinsurer is the retrocessionary, okay. So what happens is a business is proposed or put before an insurance company. The insurance company should know his level of capacity, what percentage of that business he can absorb, and then you pass it on to the reinsurer. The reinsurer also has his own levels, and then he passes on to the retrocessionary. One particular business, you can have as many as maybe 20, 30 people participating in it. This one takes 2%, this one 1%, 1.5, 3, 4, till the whole business is, you know. So at a point of trying to, you know, undercut and accepting the 300, the insurer says that for this particular business, I cannot participate in it because it's not. To pay.
I believe even in the insurance industry, we are faced with such certain amount of
you are talking about 25 million people, right? And you're having over 20 something, getting to about 30 general, insurance companies. It doesn't, I don't see why. So, what happens is that it is a small market and you are asking so many people to come into it. Okay? When you go to country with over a billion people like India, they don't have all that kind of number of insurance companies. So if you keep licensing companies, they are coming to be in the same market that these people are. So they use all that they can.
I'm sorry to catch you there. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue this discussion on the insurance industry. Stay tuned into BTN.
If you want quality TV that will make your family always very happy, Best Digital TV, Best Digital TV for your family. We give you quality premium digital TV.
Best Digital.
TV you can afford. Always there is a channel for every member of the family. So everybody keep watching Best Digital TV.
Always have some fun.
Best Digital TV.
We have local and international news, Parliament, Cinemax African movies, Sports 24, Emmanuel TV, GTV, CNN, Al Jazeera, Planet Kids for Kids, and many other channels.
Best Digital, the Ghanaian in you.
The African Business Talk analyzes Africa's business development and how policies and initiatives affect the lives of the African. The talk aims at opening opportunities for industry as well as sound trade cultural practices between business owners and entrepreneurs in continental Africa and in the diaspora. Don't miss it as we engage think tanks, businessmen and women, entrepreneurs, chief executives, innovators, and people who have worked to transform countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, Benin, Togo, South Africa, Botswana, Egypt, and many other African economies. The African Business Talk, live on Business Television Africa. Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth. And the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
The sun is up, spring